So, you probably thought I forgot, didn't you? No. I just happened to look at the data on my YouTube channel, which is something I probably should have done years ago. And it says that this time of night is better for my videos than early in the afternoon, which makes sense because even at my peak, my videos always did better in the evening than they did in the afternoon. What's going on, guys? This is Rob. Welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. We are going to continue the Toho Countdown to Godzilla Zero. Godzilla Zero, okay? And it was a lot of fun seeing you guys in the comment section yesterday talking about where you were and when you saw some of those movies. So we're continuing down, and look, I'm not gonna lie to you, Millennium Era is not going to be the best content. Thankfully, it's a short era, so we're just gonna mosey on through. But this video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla Tokyo SOS. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've seen this movie that often. However, this was another movie that I remember watching it, I think I watched it after Final Wars. Believe it or not, Tokyo SOS, GMK, and as well as what's the other one? Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla. I didn't see till after Godzilla Final Wars. And Godzilla versus Megaguirus, you ready for this one? I didn't see that one until I did the reviews on the channel. Yeah. Godzilla Tokyo SOS, I wasn't that crazy about, simply because at this point, I had already seen the whole Heisei series, and I was not a huge... I kind of got tired of the whole Godzilla versus Mothra deal. Now, I did see this one, I want to say around 2008, 2009. By this time, I was already living in Rhode Island. I had transferred my, and the story is the same for Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla. So I'm probably going to just double down on these two in the video because I saw them back to back. At this point, these movies were becoming more readily available in the States now. Like, remember I told you I bought Final Wars at Best Buy, probably in 2005 or 2006. And as the years progressed, the movies were becoming more and more available on DVD. And Best Buy at that time was the place to go to buy DVDs. We weren't, I think I had just gotten an Amazon Prime account. This is when Amazon had been around for a while, but Prime, I remember getting it while I was still in college, and I was able to get a college discount. I think it was like $59.99 a year at that time. I mean, now you look at it, it's like $130 a year now. It's like doubled since then. But at that time, Prime wasn't known really for selling media as much as they are now. Best Buy was like the place to go to buy media, and I found most of my Godzilla movies there, like a treasure trove, like the old ones, the more recent ones. So Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla and Godzilla Tokyo SOS, I pretty much probably watched back to back. So I'm not really going to do a second video, simply because when I went back and kind of to between memory and things of that nature, I realized that I remember seeing these movies pretty much at the same time. Godzilla, GMK and Megaguirus are two separate ones that we'll talk about tomorrow when I record those videos. But yeah, so for Tokyo SOS, I didn't, here's the thing, I wasn't crazy about the Millennium Godzilla design altogether, and I think GMK is the only one where the design changed. Oh well, in Final Wars, but I never liked the design. Add that in with the fact that I was never crazy about Mechagodzilla outside of the 70s, because I never liked the idea of the humans controlling him. I always liked the idea of him being a pure villain, and whether he was controlled by aliens or if they had decided to go a different route and make him some sort of AI, that would have been cool. But the idea of the humans controlling him never appealed to me. So add that in to what I considered like an overindulgence of Mothra, and then him fighting the Mothra twins again, and then the Mothra twins going Super Saiyan after Mothra died, and I just wasn't into it. I didn't get into it. I barely remember much of the movie because I think I might have seen it twice. I saw it at the time I told you when I lived in Rhode Island, maybe around 08, 09. And then I saw it again as a rewind review here on the channel. And I'm fairly certain maybe I had better things to say about it upon my second review, but probably not much better than what I'm telling you now. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, and then Godzilla against Mechagodzilla again. This was the whole thing about Mechagodzilla being, I did not like that one at all. I gotta be honest. Again, I think I might have seen it twice. I saw it at that time and I saw it again for the rewind review. And I have not seen either one of these movies since. And before watching it for the first time, when I lived in Rhode Island, in 08, 09, around that time, that was the last time, that was the first time I seen them. And then the last time I've seen both these movies were for the rewind review. Not huge fans of them. Again, Millennium series is not my favorite. It's my least favorite era. That includes the Monsterverse and oh, do I like him less than Shin Godzilla? I probably do. Yeah, most of the Millennium movies are probably ranked in my like bottom half of my Godzilla rankings. And I've had someone ask me if I was going to do a ranked Godzilla movie list, and I know I need to do an updated one. I'm just debating whether I should do one anytime soon or if I should wait till after Godzilla 0. I haven't decided yet. So, but yeah, you know, I was certainly excited about getting access to these movies. I remember that. I remember, you know, once I bought Final Wars and once I realized the media was becoming more accessible, I started pretty much collecting all these movies. Like, I had a couple of the Heisei movies on VHS. I had Space Godzilla on VHS. I had Destroyer on VHS. I never got Godzilla vs. Biollante. I never got any of the other Heisei movies. I think I got those two on VHS and a couple of the Showa era ones on VHS. But they started becoming readily available on DVD around that time, and I started really picking like pretty much almost every movie. Ironically, Biollante and Megaguirus were two that there were a couple that I never got on DVD. I have Godzilla vs. Biollante now on DVD. I have it on Blu-ray actually. And then I also have Godzilla vs. Megaguirus on DVD, but that was much later. I actually believe I bought that one specifically to review it on the channel back in 2014. So yeah, you know, I can't promise that the content's going to be very good for the next 2 or 3 videos because we're covering the Millennium series. But what I can tell you is that the Heisei series, I do have some fond memories of when I first watched these movies, because some of them are pretty distinct and some of them is because it involves friends of mine that I used to hang out with back in those days. You know, the Millennium era is when I was kind of like focused on myself. I was going back to school. In one case I was getting married, this was back in 08, and then and then the start of the channel, which was 2013. So, you know, but yeah, unfortunately not crazy about these two movies. That's kind of why I'm bundling them in one video, because I pretty much remember watching them back to back. I remember buying them both specifically, and I remember being very excited. I probably, if you had asked me what I thought about these two movies at the time that I saw them, I probably had a lot better things to say about them, because it was pure excitement for seeing 2 Godzilla movies that I had never seen before. But I think watching them after watching Final Wars is probably what diluted the excitement a little bit, because Final Wars was such a spectacle, and these two were obviously not nearly as, you know, high octane as Godzilla Final Wars. So yes, around 2008, 2009 is when I bought these two movies. I saw them. I was living in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, better known as the Bucket. And yeah, not, you know, in terms of the movies themselves, it's just not two of my favorites. And yeah, I think that's about it. I know this one's fairly short, but I kind of put 2 movies into one, because when I realized, like I said, when I realized that I watched them back to back when I first got them, then it kind of defeats the purpose of doing 2 videos. So those were the next 2 that we had to cover: Godzilla Tokyo SOS, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. and because of when I saw them, I bundled them together in this video. So, but where were you and when were you when you saw Godzilla Tokyo SOS and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla? I, as I said, was living in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and I got them at Best Buy. And as I said, they're not among my favorite movies, but I know there's a lot of people who love these two movies. I know there's a lot of people who love the Millennium era. You know, you could argue age is a factor, but I don't know, because I love GMK and I love Final Wars, and I just, you know, I think the design, this is not my favorite Godzilla design either. So, but anyway, that's it for this video. I'm sorry I kind of just decided to do both of these in one video, but when, like I said, when I realized that they were pretty much watching them back to back, I don't see the story's going to be the same, so there's no purpose in making two videos. So but anyway, we'll continue the countdown with obviously GMK and Megaguirus, both of which I'll have two separate videos for, because those are two separate times I've seen those movies. And then the next two after that, I believe, will be Millennium and then Destroyer. I think we'll be caught up once we get to Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, and then at that point we should be able to do one movie daily as we count down along with Toho, and go from there. So, but anyway, guys, that's it for this video. So let me know where and when were you for Tokyo SOS and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Until next time, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.